everyone, welcome to this week's DIY. It's me, Madison, and I'm here with a great DIY this week. Particularly it's really good because I really like one flower I have for you guys that I worked really hard to get, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. So let's get started. So first, for the greenery, we have some seeded eucalyptus. Seeded eucalyptus is a type of eucalyptus that has this cool texture on it because it has its little seeds on it. It smells great, just like eucalyptus usually does, but it just has a little texture to it. So I think it's gonna go really well with our next flower, which is the special flower, which is jasmine vine or jasmine flower. Jasmine flower is really cool because these flowers open up and they're in these really beautiful, tiny little clusters, but then also they smell great, and in some cultures, and what some people believe, is that they have a certain meaning. So this one I have for you guys is pink, and pink is supposed to mean like love. I know that red jasmine vine means passionate love. Pink is not pink, but yellow is known to be for optimism and friendship. And I believe white is for pureness. Yes, so there's so many different meanings for jasmine flower. I just look at it and think that it's beautiful. It is very beautiful. Look at this really long vine with all these pretty little leaves on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So very excited to get that to you guys. Next, we have these beautiful deep purple ranunculus. They're so dark and gorgeous, and they have like this, like, I don't even know, this mysterious look to them almost. Like when you look at them far away, you can barely even see the separation of the petals, excuse me, just from how dark they are. So very excited to have these for you guys. Next, we have our Maserati red mini Gerbers. They're very cute. They have a very dark color to them, which I think is going to go really well with our jasmine flower and our ranunculus. And they have cool shapes in them, so we're going to play with those shapes. Or not cool shapes, but more like cool gestures to them. We have some burgundy fancy carnations. That is the actual name of them. And I like them because they're really chocolatey and red and velvety. They remind me of velvet cake. And the blooms, when you open them up, are actually quite big. So we're gonna really open these up and use them. And then last but not least, certainly not least, we have our purple alstromera. We've used alstromera a ton. You see it a lot in floristry because there's so many petals on it. It lasts a long time and they're super full. So they add a lot of volume to your bouquet. All right, so let's get started. So first, I got my little teapot because I just thought this teapot was like a really cool dark grayish color. So I was like, it's gonna go very well with like our dark brooding colors we got going on. So we're gonna open that up. It's a vintage one from a thrift store. Isn't that cool? So I have all these pieces right here. So I'm actually gonna cut it a little low. I always support extra mechanics. So I'm gonna use this stick, put it right in there. And then I'm gonna split up my eucalyptus, place it on an angle, get rid of any stems or any flowers that, not flowers, but any petals, leaves, anything that fall. We don't want any of that in the water. As we know, it causes bacteria. We don't want that. And I'm just gonna really work on building my crops. Again, we don't have a lot of green, so we're gonna really hone in on that. And also, seeded euc is very floppy, so we're gonna make sure that we're being smart with our eucalyptus and really trying to build in our base, or everything that I'm doing is gonna flop around, and that's so fun. All right, I got one more big piece. Again, we're gonna split that in half, take off all of those weird little pieces that are at the bottom, give both these pieces a nice cut. We're gonna just pop them right in there. Plop. Plop. We'll take off some of these pieces. Sometimes seeded euc is really top heavy, so if you don't cut it right and take off the unnecessary leaves, they're just gonna fly out of your vase, and that's annoying. So we're gonna get rid of some of that right now. I'm gonna readjust it so I can have that one kind of facing more towards the back. And then these pieces. See how these pieces are flying out the vase? It's because they're so top heavy. So I'm gonna cut them just a little shorter, just so they can sit in our vase a little better. There we go, perfect. Next, I'm gonna go in with our alstromera. I'm gonna fill in the bottom with our alstro. Alstro, again, is great for that reason, so I'm gonna use that. And the leaves are really thick and kind of hardy, So they're gonna be really good for mechanics. I know they're a filler and we traditionally use these in the end to fill any blank places, but I'm gonna fight that urge and just tuck them in right there and really use them as like a stronghold for my arrangement. Sometimes seeded breaks easily, so I take off any of those like flowers that are looking kind of wow. We don't want any of those. None. All right, we got that right there. All right, so again, we're peeling off those pieces. I'm not gonna cut it too short. I think I cut my first one really short, so I'm gonna keep this one really longer, and we're just gonna use that to fill out our base. All right, that's good, perfect. Next, we're gonna go in with our, let's go in with our carnations. Let's get some cool gestures going on. So we got quite a lot of carnations. We got 5, so we're gonna really play with those heights in there. So first I'm gonna use this one. This one just broke and made my job a lot easier, so I'm gonna give it a first cut. Twist, so what we do is we take our 2 fingers, we pinch the base of our flower, and we twist. And that's really gonna open up that, like, those sepals, the little petals that hold the petals of your flower. We can peel them back a little bit too. I said we're gonna make sure these look huge. You want them real open. So now that those are all peeled back, I'm just gonna fluff it out. Fluff. Push down, fluff out. And you can even see the center. And just for comparison, this is what my carnation looked like in the beginning, and this is what it looks like now. That's why doing that is super important and super useful. We can get the full-fledged look, and it doesn't really take a lot out of our carnations either, which is really important. The same thing to all of our carnations. That's my little carnation twisty dance. We're just gonna flip them right out. And again, we're gonna really peel back those sepals so we can get the full-fledged, fluffy look of carnations. We want all of that to show. Right, we'll put that one right here. Let me readjust this outro. These 2 outros that are hugging onto each other for dear life. Tuck that one right there. Perfect. All right. And then we're just gonna keep going. I kind of want my carnations to be together. Some are gonna be together, some are not. These are gonna be off to the side. We're going for a real artsy look today. We've got a lot of texture going on, a lot of deep colors, and you want to make sure those deep colors have a time to shine. There we go. And then this one's going to be much taller. Not too tall, but tall enough. Right up there, perfect. So now we're gonna go on with our Maserati rope girders. So one of my stems are kind of whack, but that's okay because I was gonna make it short anyway. So honestly, again, just saving me some time. We're gonna cut along that bent part and then just shove it right here in the front. All right. Now we have these cool ones that are a little more sturdy and topsy-turvy. So this one is almost straight, so I'm just gonna stick that one right here at the top. Again, I'm really playing with the length. I'm really showing height in this bouquet. I really want to. I love a good bouquet that has a lot of height to it, depth. This one's cool. It's really like wiggly. So I'm gonna keep this one not super long, but definitely longer and really accent its shape. It doesn't have to be facing frontward because I want to accentuate that little wiggle at the top of it. You just gotta get the right angle since it's so long. So it might be a little difficult, but that's okay. Nothing we can't handle. Perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come around and look at the front of my bouquet and make sure that this isn't looking too crazy. Perfect. Pull that out a little bit. Pull that in a little bit. I'm gonna readjust that one so it's leaning back a little bit. Hit that one more time and push it right there. A little angle. I don't want it just sticking straight in there, but I want like a slight curve to it, you know? So we can kind of play, see how those are kind of waving together? We want to play with shapes, is what I'm saying. Play with your shapes. Play with your shapes. I got one more ouster I'm going to use. I'm going to really use to fill in that bottom part. There's a little space in there that's kind of empty. We don't want too much going on down there because we want it to accent our heights and our shapes, but I definitely don't want my mechanics to be seen. So I'm just going to pop that one right up there. Let's see if we like that. Let's look at it from the front. Beautiful. Now something I'm noticing now is that I'm kind of covering up my spout. So I'm going to make sure that spout is being seen by pushing back my greens. I want the spout to be seen because it's a teapot. And that's the whole point of it. So you want to make sure that's being like accentuated. Next we have our beautiful and elusive is the word I used earlier. Ranunculus. This is just absolutely beautiful and I'm excited to use them. So we're going to again play with these beautiful shapes. So I'm going to blow it up a little bit. Now sometimes when you get ranunculus, those first petals can be a little split. If you don't like that, then you can get rid of them. I'm going to keep it because I kind of like it. It gives it like a textured look, kind of like a ruffled textured look. And I'm going to keep this little bud on it because I really like that bud right there. All right? And then we should have one more that's on my table full of things, full of scraps right here. We have this one that also has a cool shape to it. Now I could keep this long, keep it short. Let's see how we like it. I'm gonna pick up my vase. Like a teacup, you know? Pick it up just like that. And then see if I want one right here, or if I want it to be up here. Ooh, I didn't even need to do that, and I kinda like that. I might do that, let's do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, when I'm taking it back out, give it a first cut. Really look at my mechanics so I'm getting this like shape that I'm dreaming of, correct? And I'm gonna balance it on a bunch of other stems so it kind of sticks out just like that. There we go. I don't want it to be right next to this. I don't want it to be like an accent to that. Like I don't want them sticking the same way, if that makes sense. So if that takes a minute to get the shape that you want, don't be afraid. Go ahead and do it. Don't be afraid to get the shape you want. It just takes a little bit of balance. Like really look into your bouquet. Push things back a little bit if you need to. Perfect. Perfect. All right, let's look at it from the front. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna pull this up just a little bit so it's like right there. Kind of turn this around so it's facing frontward more. Beautiful. Push this in a little bit so. And then again, fix any of these. This one's being really annoying now. Really annoying, but that's okay. Forestry takes patience. If you have a vision, chase after it. All right. I actually really like that. Wow. Next and last, but certainly not least, we have our jasmine flower. Now, jasmine flower has all of these little pieces and vines all over it. So we're gonna, one, do our diligence and untangle some of that so we can really use it to its full potential. Yes, those were all tangled together. So I'm just gonna make sure that's all tangled, untangled I mean, and I'm gonna strip off any leaves that are kind of womp womp. And by womp womp, I mean bad. And get rid of them. And I'm gonna have a couple pieces dangling off the side. Just slightly, just ever so slightly. Now these pieces are really wonky and thin, so you kind of gotta twist them in and go in from the base. Hold down your base so you keep everything still. Really put it in there. Really get it. I kind of want this one to be a certain way, so I'm gonna use one of my flowers to kind of push it to the back a little bit so it's not too much in the front. Let's see how we like that. We love that. Now I'm seeing that my seeded yuke is kind of taking away from my jasmine vine, so I'm gonna cut just a little bit of it off. I still want a little bit of texture, but I don't want too much. Like, this jasmine vine is absolutely divine, and I really want those buds to like come out and be seen. So I'm going to make sure that they can be seen. You just take off a couple pieces. I have a couple more pieces I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna use this piece, and then we should be done. And then we'll do our last adjustments. We have our purple alstromera that is very light in the middle, like we have that light pink in the middle, but they're dark purple on the edges, and it goes perfect with our jasmine flower for when it blooms. It's one, smell great, look very delicate, and just be a beautiful accent to this wonderful ring. Again, it has always been good. It is my pleasure to be here. If you guys like this one, let us know on our Instagram. Send me photos, send me videos. I love seeing what you guys create with your DIY stuff. And as always, it has been a great week, and I will see you guys next week. All right? And yeah, bye.